Time for the curtain to be lifted. Conference play gets underway in our nation's capital. The Big East Digital Network, presented by SoFi, proudly presents the Creighton Blue Jays and the Georgetown Hoyas from the campus of Georgetown University at McDonough Arena. Hi everyone, Drew Casey and Lauren Moses courtside. And Lauren, if it's the start of Big East Conference play, that means two teams that know quite a lot about each other.
Just a little bit. Only 13 games these two teams have matched up against one another last season. Both these teams came off with one win each. Creighton obviously leading the lead on that series 8-4. And last year, Creighton came out with a big win early on, 65-38, and Georgetown came back 63-53. And so both these teams have a little bit of a new program, new season, new players.
13th all-time meeting between the Blue Jays and Hoyas today. Creighton's looking for its 9th win of the season, and Jalen Agnew has been dynamite this year.
She has been. Offensive threat for this team. Has battled a few injuries last season, but this season, Big East Player of the Week 2 times in a row. Back-to-back 20-point performances late in November and early on in December.
On the Hoyas side of things, Georgetown lost over 70% of its scoring. Taylor Barnes, coming over from Memphis, has been big to replace.
Most consistent scorer for this Georgetown team, averaging about 11 points per game. Like you said, transfer from Memphis, so she has a little bit of experience to really lead this Georgetown team to get them back on track.
The conference opener is on the way from McDonough Arena. Georgetown and Creighton. Opening tip straight ahead on the Big East Digital Network, presented by SoFi.
Stand up stronger. I got the power, gonna raise it up. So high, we're shining brighter. We got the power, gonna raise it up. We got the power, gonna raise it up. We're running ahead. We got to raise it up.
Their season is set to get underway. Lauren Moses, Drew Casey here with you. Georgetown in the home Grays, Creighton in the visiting Blues. And we will get this underway a couple days before 2020. And conference play is officially underway as Creighton comes in 8-3, Georgetown 3-8 here at McDonough Arena. Olivia Elger, now top of the key. Jalen Agnew, just talked about her in the open. Here comes a three from Sarda. That's too strong. Tapped around and controlled by Bennett.
Those threes are going to be going up all afternoon long. This Creighton team, a dynamic three-pointing shooting team from their 1 position all the way down to the 4 position.
Kaleva here over on the left side for Marvelous Osagi Eresi. Inserted into the starting lineup just 3 games ago. Barnes tries a long 2. That's off the mark. Still looking for our first points here this afternoon. Coming up the floor, this is Elger. A long 3 goes down. Olivia Elger, the triple.
Elger had 24 points in their last game against Arizona State. She is just a dynamic player where she can score from the three-point line as well as getting into the paint and causing some issues there.
A long layoff for both of these sides. Creighton last played December the 20th, 9 days ago at Arizona State. They lost that one by 15, 70-55. Here's Brianna Jones for the Hoyas. To Grayson Bennett, back to Jones. Osagi Arese drives the lane and puts it high off glass and down.
And that's where Georgetown can take advantage of this Creighton defense. They do a good job outside protecting the perimeter, but when you really put the ball on the floor and try to get into that paint is really where Georgetown can see a lot of success today.
Quick look at the starters as Agnew tries the 3, and that's off the left side of the rim. Won't go down. Sarda, Agnew, Griglione, Elger, and Saunders for Creighton. Georgetown going with Brianna Jones, Marvelous Osagi Arese, Anita Kaleva, Taylor Barnes, and Grace Ann Bennett. Speaking of Bennett, she's on it here. Hands off for Jones. Long 2, foot on the line, short. And the offensive rebound nearly controlled, and that's something we'll have to watch. The glass in this game, especially the Hoyas.
Hoyas, they are a rebounding team, averaging about 42 rebounds per game, and so they're going hard.
Jones pushing the play. Speaking of going hard, tough shot won't go. Tapped around. and they'll say it will stay with Georgetown. Creighton has an early 3-2 lead. Keys to the game for the Blue Jays.
When you think about what we just talked about, rebounding is extremely important going up against the Hoyas. They put a body on people and they go after the rebounds hard. Offensively, Coach Flannery talked about it. He wants his team to have a little bit better flow offensively, get in the right positions, and really be on point when trying to make ball screens, off the ball screens. And as we know, they have so many players on this Creighton team that can score in any given night. As we see here, a little stoppage of play.
Adjusting the shot clock to 20 seconds. That's the reset on an offensive rebound with no possession change this season, and that ruled by the officials there. Caleb over in the corner. Osagi Arese tries a three, short, and the rebound taken down by Temi Sarda. Mentioned the keys for Creighton. Creighton is without Tatum Rembow for the second straight game, out with injury, as this three is short from Elger. Offensive rebound, though. Saunders working the perimeter. Here's Agnew, two-time player of the week in the league already this season. Into the corner. Sarda, that's short. Nice screen set by Saunders off ball. Here come the Hoyas. Transition play, stolen away by the Blue Jays.
It was a good defensive possession there by the Hoyas, but weren't able to come up with it down the stretch.
Agnew's open for three. It's off the left side of the rim, no good. And over the back, it'll go the Hoyas' way.
Defensively, this Georgetown team is going to have to play Agnew as a team. The last time down, we saw Agnew try to get into the paint a little bit to kick it off. There she misses the three, but the previous possession, she wasn't able to get comfortable. And so if they keep her uncomfortable, then they have a really good shot of looking down this game.
Batchelor checks in for Creighton for the first time, as does Chloe Dwarick. Griglione and Saunders grabbing a seat. Saunders picking up the foul there, her first, as well as the team's first. Here in the opening quarter, more than 3 minutes in, a basket apiece. It was a three ball for the Jays, who are 1 for 6 from the floor and 1 for 6 from three. This is Taylor Barnes, the Memphis transfer, hands for Jones. Dribbles left, lost the basketball, gets it back. Short, tipped out though nicely by Kaleva. This one sent back inside to Kaleva. She puts up the shot, won't go. Too strong. Here come the Jays.
Couldn't go there, but Georgetown's height is really going to be key. This Creighton team, not many too tall players, but they do have shooters, just not able to hit right now.
Both teams have started 1 for 7, a combined 2 of 14 here in the early going. Working through one of the senior captains. Georgetown has 4 of them. Kaleva thinking, driving all the way to the lane and gets it to go.
Great drive there, just reading the defense, seeing that the middle is open, taking it one dribble, hard dribble to the basket and finishing on the other side.
Creighton has taken 7 shots. They've all been threes. Can they penetrate here? Now trailing 4-3 as we approach the 5-minute mark first quarter. And Agnew dribbles the basketball illegally. Traveling violation. Georgetown ball. If you take a look at our keys to the game for the Hoyas, who have the early 4-3 lead.
Definitely important for this Georgetown team to take care of the ball. This past game, they had 17 turnovers against Maryland Eastern Shore, something that really hurt them going down, and obviously containing Agnew on this Creighton team, the driver of their force, and lastly, rebounding, something they do so well at already.
Taylor Barnes, as she walks it up the floor, calling for motion on this possession. Now it's Osagi Arese. Back to Barnes. Hands off to Kovachikova. First time we've seen her off the bench for the Hoyas. Off-ball movement as Jones takes the step back 2 and bricks it off the back of the iron. And the board down to Jalen Agnew. Running the floor. Extra pass. Corner. 3. No. Hartley Batchelor a little short. And Creighton still has yet to take a 2-point shot. They're 1 of 8 from the floor. And 1 of 8 from 3. And too many steps in the front court for Taylor Barnes. Very slow start offensively. 4-3 Georgetown as we've hit a media break. 4:58 to play in the opening quarter. Back after this on the Big East Digital Network. Presented by SoFi.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
I felt like I was going to spend my whole adult life paying this off.
Thanks to SoFi, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
As of 12 p.m. today, I am debt-free. We have no debt. We don't owe anybody anything, and it's fantastic.
Tough offensive start for both teams. Welcome back into McDonough Arena on the campus of Georgetown University. 4-3 Hoyas have the early lead. Creighton turning in a very impressive non-conference part of the schedule. 8-3 under head coach Jim Flannery. The most wins ever for any Creighton basketball coach. And get this, Lauren Moses, no one has transferred out of the program since 2010, and everyone's graduated. I don't think many coaches can say that.
Talk about creating a culture. Coach Flannery, only coach to guide Creighton to 4 NCAA tournaments, 2012, 13, 17, and 18.
And there's James Howard, the head coach of Georgetown in his 3rd season, right around 500, a year that he expected offensively to be a little bit of a challenge, losing close to 75% of the scoring to graduation from a season ago.
Definitely a building year for him and his coaching squad, trying to figure out who is best at which position. As we talked about, Marvelous Ogasagi-Aris coming in or starting this game.
Agnew tries a 3, and Creighton makes it rain for the first time. They take a 6-4 lead, breaking a stretch of not scoring over the course of the last 4 minutes.
And despite that slow stretch for them, they are going to shoot it. They are not going to go away from their identity.
2 for 9 from the field, 2 for 9 from 3, and the answer 3 is delivered from the Hoyas and Nikola Kovachikova.
Kovachikova had 2 threes in their last matchup against Maryland Eastern Shore yesterday. Going to look to get after it more today.
Georgetown 3-8, that win over UMES, 57-39. On the right side for the Blue Jays, Brodsky, first time we've called her name, pass inside to Carly Batchelor, knocked away. And they will say it will stay right here with the Blue Jays.
And we talked to Coach Jimmy Howard today, along with Jim Flannery just a few days ago. However, Coach Howard trying to get his team to understand the importance of defense. Obviously, offense is something that they're going to have to learn a little bit about for this season, but defensively, getting into passing lanes is going to be extremely important, especially with a Creighton team that likes to do a lot of off-ball screens.
At the shot clock horn, they say she got it off. Chloe Dwarick, they're going to hold play and take a look. James Howard was right on top of it, and the whistle's now coming. And the call on the court appears to have been changed now to no good. We'll take a quick timeout, get you the results on the other side. Creighton has an early, as it stands right now, 9-7 lead on the Hoyas. 3:40 to play in the first quarter. Big East Digital Network, presented by SoFi.
My parents never taught me anything about managing money.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
We just decided we didn't want debt any longer.
I didn't realize how easy investing could be. I'm picking companies that I believe in.
I think SoFi Money is amazing.
Thank you, SoFi.
SoFi, thank you. We love you.
We aren't just dreamers. We're doers.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
Good things happen when you unleash a Butler Bulldog.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
Hallelujah.
And this is just one night. You should see what we do during the day. Marquette University. Be the difference.
Taking a look back at the last three-point shot for the Creighton Blue Jays. Right around that shot clock buzzer, and they would say that it would not get off in time. Didn't see the basket light up, but they went to the video replay, and they say no basket. So Georgetown back on top 7-6. Quick turnover in the front court for the Hoyas. And Creighton has possession coming back left to right. It's been all three-point field goal attempts here today. Batchelor handing off now. Elger coming off a career-high 24 points the last time out. A lot has happened since then. It's more than 9 days ago for the Blue Jays. Corner three coming and going down this time in plenty of time. No shot clock there for Chloe Dwarick to deal with. 9-7. Creighton goes back on top.
You know, Drew, that's what makes this Creighton team so special. They can get into the lane, but they know they have shooters out there waiting to spot up and knock down those threes. So Georgetown has to be ready for both.
Creighton shooting it from three on the year at 33%. That is 7th in the conference. Nice give and go, but the layup is missed by Kaleva.
And that is a look that Georgetown can get. The height advantage is there. The motion on offense is even there. Have to finish that.
Georgetown, a team known for their defense. Coach James Howard wants to play this game in the 50s if possible. Agnew, right side, thinking about a three. Brodsky drives in, dishes down low, spinning. Shot won't go from Carly Batchelor. She's been active early. Both teams shooting it at 27% early on. Both are 3 of 11. That was the first 2-point shot that Creighton attempted.
Yeah.
Sagi Arese getting free and driving all the way in, and this time it's converted. Might have been the same play for Anita Kaleva inside.
Coach Howard talked about it offensively, something that they want to work on, but they're going to keep working on it each and every game. A lot of games coming at them soon, and so they want to be able to work on it here in this first one out.
4 games in 8 days for both squads. This pass inside is errant and taken and controlled by the Hoyas. Ovechikova moving up the court. Dishes a little bit high, controlled by Barnes. Hoyas can set up their half-court offense. Down to 10 seconds to shoot. Open for a three. Osagi Arese, she hits. Oh, she's marvelous.
Marvelous. Just a great shot there, wide open. Had a defender in front of her, but hand down, man down, they say.
12-9 Georgetown on the three from marvelous Osagi Arese. Georgetown defense packing it in. Creighton having to take their perimeter shots. Elger driving the hoop. Height disadvantage, dishes off. Brodsky, floater won't go. Looking for her own miss and can't corral. Kaleva pushing the play.
We see Georgetown very comfortable on their home court, getting the shots that they want, getting the options that they want. Not always hitting, but taking very controlled shots here early on.
Inside of a minute to play, opening quarter, Osagi Arese can't hit from the far side. Rather, that was Barnes. And the shot clock is now turned off for the Blue Jays as they come into the forecourt, trailing 12-9. 20 seconds to play, opening quarter from McDonough Arena on the campus of Georgetown University. The Big East Digital Network, thanks for stopping by. Elger with 10. One bounce for Batchelor, down to 5 seconds. Agnew lost the dribble, gives off for Elger. 2 seconds and 1, puts up a heave, and it's short.
Great way to end that possession there. Georgetown defense, all 5 people on the court, plus the bench, we're talking to get that stop.
Defense, Georgetown holding Creighton to just 9 points. Hoyas take a 12-9 lead into the second quarter when we come back.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
I felt like I was going to spend my whole adult life paying this off.
Thanks to SoFi, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
As of 12 p.m. today, I am debt-free.
We have no debt, we don't owe anybody anything, and it's fantastic.
What can great minds do?
While at Seton Hall, I interned with the Superior Court of New Jersey, and that inspired me to go to law school.
I am a physics and civil engineering major, and I want to work on infrastructure in underdeveloped countries.
I'm the news director at one of the top college radio stations in the country.
I'm working with my professor on research that could help athletes during sudden cardiac events.
I started my own business, Classic Soccer Cleats, and I just sold it to a company in England.
Come see for yourself what great minds can do.
At St. John's University, our students believe, serve, explore, and achieve. A Catholic, Vincentian, metropolitan, and global university, we are at the heart of where lives are enriched. We provide a transformative education that goes far beyond the classroom. We aspire to do more. And for nearly 150 years, the St. John's story has been the story of New York City. We are New York's team. We are St. John's.
Creighton led it 9-7 late in the first quarter, but 2 buckets down the stretch for the Hoyas. Lauren Moses has Georgetown on top, 12-9 after 1.
Georgetown very comfortable right now offensively, getting the shots that they won in the paint with only 4 so far, but also forcing turnovers, 6 turnovers for Creighton.
And head coach James Howard has to be happy with what he saw in that first quarter, especially defensively. Wants to play this game in the 50s. You do the math, 9 times 4 is 36.
Yes, for sure. And he said he doesn't want to be below 50 either. He wants to be in the 60s, hoping that his team can come up offensively and get some things running for them.
Both teams started 1 for 7 from the floor. Creighton ended 3 of 11 in that first quarter. Georgetown 5 of 14. Hoyas have it in the front court there in the home gray uniforms if you're just joining us. Jumper inside, in and out, can't go in for Kaleva. She's just a couple in close. The Jays come back left to right, traveling across the country as they do for road games in the Big East, essentially every other weekend. Did that yesterday. They'll bust to Villanova following today's game. Like to go there with a win. Whistle before that shot went down. Foul on the floor against the Hoyas.
Hoyas know exactly what Creighton wants to do offensively. They're trying to make them uncomfortable on the three-point line while allowing them to drive and giving them some pressure right there in that paint.
I think the foul could have perhaps been called in the act. They called it first on the initial contact. This is Temi Sarda backing her defender down. Kicks out for Elger, 10 to shoot. Driving in, and the passing lane is stepped into by the Hoyas, and Brianna Jones quickly down the floor. Looking for space, tough shot from Cassie Gordon, couldn't go down, but the putback does go through.
Great attention to detail and great effort. All 3 or 4 players in gray jerseys were down there by the rim, just in case anyone came up with short.
Elger at the foul line. First time we see Dee Pryor, the freshman from Urbandale, Iowa. Right wing driving baseline. Elger, she's been active as her shot is missed, but a whistle and a foul, loose ball violation. It'll be called against Creighton. Georgetown possession.
Yeah, and if you are Coach Howard, you're pretty happy right now with how your team is defending, not allowing Creighton to get too many wide open shots early on. In the first quarter, we saw 1 or 2, but really pushing and pressuring them defensively out on that three-point line is important.
That foul, just the third foul called in this game, but it is the second against Rachel Saunders on the Creighton side of things. And Saunders has taken to the bench in foul trouble, and answering for 3 is Tayana Jones. Boy, is opening up an 8-point lead. It's a 10-0 run for Georgetown going back to the first quarter. Sarda in the lane, kicking out. Creighton needs a bucket, not even close. Going through contact, Brianna Jones, transition to Tayana. Kicks in the corner, now slowing it down. Gordon open for 3, straight on, good!
Yeah, and you can expect Coach Flannery wants a timeout. This Georgetown team, a team that we expected, other players to step up, but bench players getting in and getting some action early.
It's a 13-0 run for the Georgetown Hoyas. That 3 from Nikola Kovalchukova, 20-9. Look at it again. Pretty, nothing but net. Back after this.
My parents never taught me anything about managing money.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
We just decided we didn't want debt any longer.
I didn't realize how easy investing could be. I'm picking companies that I believe in.
I think SoFi Money is amazing.
Thank you, SoFi.
SoFi, thank you. We love you.
You have 4 years to help you figure out the meaning of life. Do you realize what a great gift this is?
I think of college as a moment of pilgrimage.
You'll go places you never thought you'd go. You'll meet people you never thought you'd meet. And you will experience things that are so rich that you can hold on to them forever.
What is a Villanovan? In 30 seconds? Well, Villanovans aim high. Top 50 National University high. We think fast and stay connected. V's up. Villanovans think deeply, push boundaries, and go, go, go! Still with me? We climb corporate ladders and these ladders. This campus is our home, but you can find us almost anywhere. Villanovans have big hearts and solve even bigger problems, and we celebrate together. Ignite change, go Nova.
Georgetown holds a 20-9 lead early on in the second quarter of the Big East Conference opener for both teams. And speaking of which, the Big East Women's Basketball Tournament is just around the corner. The tournament presented by Jeep returns to Wintrust Arena in downtown Chicago March 6th through the 9th. And all session tickets for the 2020 conference tournament are now on sale, starting at just $50 as of today. For tickets, visit bigeast.com/WBB tickets for more information and to purchase those tickets. Georgetown has come out on fire in this second quarter. They trailed 9-7 late in the first and 13 points in a row. This Georgetown team not really known for their offense, Lauren.
Not too much. I mean, we talked about it in the open. We really expected Taylor Barnes to come out here and just play flat out as she usually does, but teams or players off the bench have been coming in and getting it done offensively and defensively. They've been on the boards, they've been finishing, and they're hitting some three-pointers as well, 4 for 8 so far.
First in the conference in rebounding, right around 40 if you round up, and currently so far today +5, 14-9. The offensive glass has been big throughout the course of the season, already 3 offensive rebounds for the Hoyas. Creighton has started ice cold, 3 of 15, 20% from the floor. A little chilly inside. It's warm outside in DC today. 50 degrees, hard foul there inside, taking it to the hole. And Creighton will get a chance at the line to cut into the deficit, get it back to single digits as we take a look.
Hard drive there, even harder foul, as we see by Jones. But as you said, the weather outside might play into this a little bit. A little groggy, a little rainy. Not the best weather to play in. However, we are indoors, and Georgetown trying to pull out a win on their home court today.
Temi Sarda gets 2 after the hard foul committed by Tayana Jones, and short on the first. Started an 82% free throw shooter coming in today. Splits the pair. Substitution coming on. Taylor Barnes for Tayana Jones. 20-10 Georgetown. If you're just joining us, 7.5 minutes and rolling on a second quarter clock. Kovačíková now for Gordon. Posting up, nice backdoor pass from Keleva to Kovačíková. The two Middle European players working together, Croatia and Slovakia respectively. Coach Howard telling us pre-game that they were both able to spend some time with some family domestically. Didn't travel all the way home across the pond. Couple of day break for both sides. Pass inside. Creighton looking to get some offense going. Gracie Griglione. First time we've called her name. She lays it in.
Easiest way to get some offensive going is in transition. Pushing the ball when players are not prepared. Georgetown didn't have their heads turned yet, and Creighton able to just finish there in transition.
20-12 Georgetown. Less than 7 minutes to play second quarter. Barnes driving to the hole. Score the basket. She'll go to the line for a chance at a three-point play.
Taking care of the ball, going strong to the basket. Comes up with an and one. Taylor Barnes.
Making it 22-12. The foul on Agnew, her first. Free throw in and out. Second team foul against Creighton. Both teams with 2 team fouls in this second quarter. 6:45 and rolling on the second quarter clock. Agnew over on the left wing. This is Sarda driving the lane, whistle. And a hand check foul, moving from hip to hip. Indicates Kevin Dillard. Our 3 officials, Norma Jones, Kevin Dillard, and Zach Brost.
Second foul from that same position. Very aggressive Georgetown defense, and just a different pace that Creighton hasn't seen yet this season.
3 ball coming for the Jays, and this one goes down. Needed it, Temi Sarda, and just like that, it's back to a 7-point game.
And that's why you can't get too comfortable, because Creighton is a team that we've talked about will shoot threes, whether they're hitting or not. So you have to expect that at some point they're going to start going down.
Sarda has 4 points. In fact, the last 4 points for Creighton. Here's Taylor Barnes. A little bit quiet so far. Nice give-and-go action. Keleva getting through inside. That's been working all day. The give, the go, the goal.
The all day long in the paint is really where Georgetown is really drawing this gap, whether that's driving in the paint or really using their post players. Creighton lost a post player last season in Aubrey Faber, and they're seeing a little bit of inconsistency from whether they're guarding a post player or not being able to control them down low.
Really struggling to get inside, really struggling to get Jalen Agnew the basketball as well. Just 3 shots in the early going. This one nearly over and back. 4 seconds on the shot clock, and 2 quick steps traveling on Dwarick, and it goes the Hoyas' way.
One of the keys for this Hoya team was to contain Agnew. So if she can't catch the ball, then you're doing a pretty good job. However, Creighton, we know, has other players, about 3 or 4 other players that can really get going any given night, whether it's Elger, Brodsky, anyone can really get it going. However, they're not doing it right now.
On court at the moment, Jones joined by Gordon, Osagi Arese, Barnes, and Keleva for the Hoyas. Osagi Arese hands off for Gordon. Barnes, nice step back through the legs. Off the left side of the rim, the bench was ready to erupt. Board taken down by the Jays, down 9. Trying to get Agnew going. That one's off the back of the iron. And Gordon backing out for the board. Opener of the conference season in the Big East for both teams here on this Sunday. Here's the 3 ball coming and going down from Taylor Barnes. She's got 5, and Georgetown's got a 12-point lead.
Taylor Barnes getting it going, but Osagi Arese really adding her in that starting position, that starting point guard position really helped. You saw last time Georgetown slowed it down just a little bit. They had an opportunity where they could speed up, but got Taylor Barnes where she wanted it, right on the outside.
Jalen Agnew draws a foul call off the bounce. I believe they'll get Osagi Arese. Substitution checking in for the Jays. Gracie Griglione checks out. Peyton Brodsky comes on. Here's Agnew. 14 fouls against the Hoyas now. See if the Blue Jays continue to go inside, try and get to the line. This one's blocked by Keleva. Really having herself an impressive first half to this point.
Keleva standing at 6'3". doing it, like you said, on both ends of the floor. She knows that she has an advantage out there, and she's using it.
Pointing out instructions, gets a screen and hands off. Now posting up, she's got some space. Deflected away as it tried to get to her, but it stays with the Hoyas. 3 seconds to shoot. Long three. Osage Arese off the back of the iron. Offensive rebound. Foul call. It appears to be staying right here with Georgetown.
Great effort from Brianna Jones, standing 5'9", and she was warding off 2 players on both sides of her trying to get that rebound, but comes up, gets a foul, ball underneath.
And that's on Agnew, and that's 2. Jalen Agnew already with 2 fouls. 3 points, just 1 of 4 from the floor. Does have 3 assists, but Georgetown has done a phenomenal job limiting her and the entire Creighton team defensively. 27-15 Georgetown. Under 4 minutes to play until halftime. Barnes on the left wing pulls up, and she'll draw contact and go to the line for 2.
I mean, talk about something to prove. It's so early on in this season, but this Georgetown team ranked 10th in preseason ratings, being led by Taylor Barnes here. You see she comes up with the foul as she takes a 1-dribble pull-up. But so much to prove. They come out first game of the Big East play, trying to take down the preseason 6th-ranked Creighton.
You mentioned those 2 teams and their preseason distinctions. How about this for the non-conference portion? 8 of 10 teams are over 500 or better as we start conference play. Taylor Barnes, the Memphis transfer, averaging 11 points a game, connects on a pair of free throws as Georgetown is up by 14 points, and that's their largest lead of the afternoon. Saunders playing with 2 fouls, as is Agnew, both on the floor for the Blue Jays. Nice ball movement. Sarda's 3 is good.
And we saw a little bit of different pressure there from Georgetown, pressing up a little bit, trapping at times, and scrambling out of it. This time, Creighton got a wide open 3 over there on the baseline.
18 points for Creighton, 15 of them via the 3-ball. 5 makes from beyond the arc already. Hoya's looking to answer, short from Gordon. And here comes Dwarick. She's got a 3. Elger, Agnew looking backdoor, finds an opening. Saunders, who goes up, a quick 5 for Creighton.
And at times, we've seen Georgetown get into a 3-shooting battle, but right now, inside is really where they want to go. Creighton, not an inside-focused team.
Defensively and offensively, for that matter, you see the statistic there. Over 100-point differential in the paint, and so far in this one, it is a 10-4 advantage for Georgetown. And when we spoke with Coach Flannery of Creighton earlier this week, he was concerned about the glass and the size disadvantage that his team would have to deal with today.
Yeah, I mean, he knows his team has a lot of heart, and they're willing to play with anyone. However, he also knows that this Georgetown team is a very aggressive offensive rebounding team, and so that's their emphasis, and so they need to take that away from them if they're trying to get back into this game before halftime.
Osage Arese fouled off ball, but Creighton over the limit, so that's the reason for the 2 free throws. Made the first. The second for the senior from East Orange, New Jersey is good. 31-20. Hoya's the lead. Less than 3 until the break. Saunders looking for Sarda. And Elger gets taken down. Moving screen. We'll see they call it on. Looks like they're going to get Georgetown. Let's take another look here.
After the play, or after the whistle, Barnes says that she was moving. And we know Creighton likes to do a lot of off-ball screens, so you have to be ready and you have to play solid defense.
Norma Jones talking with Taylor Barnes. Free throws awarded again because of the foul limit. And the first no good from Olivia Elger. Comes in 69% from the charity stripe. Peoria, Illinois, the senior guard. Averaging 12 and 3 so far this year. Looking to split the pair, and she can do just that. 10-point game. Hoya's looking to close this first half strong. Have to like almost everything you've seen, offensively and defensively. Jones outside for Osage Arese. Kaleva off the bounce. We saw that move once, not a second time though. Jalen Agnew able to defend and not commit her 3rd foul. Sarda Block-to-block pass, and it's rejected by Kaleva. It stays with the Blue Jays. Elger a 3, and she wasn't allowed to land. She's fouled, and she'll get 3 from the line.
And that's another foul by Barnes. Just not smart. Rather contest than running through that play. You see here a clean kick out, but a hard contest.
Not really points of emphasis rules-wise this year, other than the shot clock changing. Last year, it was the landing rule, and clearly not allowed to land there after delivering that shot. Clear foul. First of 3 is good. Elger second on the team in points, behind Jalen Agnew's 18 a game. That's 4th in the league. And Elger is also 8th in the conference in three-point percentage. So far today, though, she's just 1 of 5 from beyond the arc. She's made the first 2 and short on the third. 31-23 Georgetown in the conference opener a couple of days before the decade comes to an end. Kovačíková, her shot is rejected by Agnew. Creighton looking to run. This is Jalen Agnew for 3. Transition won't go. And Osagie Arese is there. Creighton is now 5 of 17 from 3. Percentage has improved. Still under 30%.
Agnew still having a slow shooting night, trying to find her rhythm.
Kaleva inside. She's had a lot of looks in that painted area. Hasn't been able to get many of them to go. 3 of 8 now from the floor after that miss. Saunders for a 3. That's off the right side of the rim. Agnew the offensive board. Right back to Saunders. Stops, kicks. Sarda trying to get around Osagie Arese. 10 seconds to shoot. Agnew lost the ball, taken away cleanly. 3-on-1 for the Hoyas if they hurry. Osagie Arese, transition, gives off and off the window, and finding the bottom of the twine is Nikola Kovačíková.
Beautiful pass in transition. Literally threads the ball right between one of her players and a defender.
Elger chucks a 3, and it's just run up the floor and take the 3 for Creighton, it seems, in this quarter.
Yeah, and we see both these teams a little winded now, Creighton, I think, is trying to play to Georgetown's pace at times, which is why they haven't been as successful.
End-to-end action. Georgetown with a 10-point lead. Probably their last possession here. 27 on the game clock. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Kovačíková calling out a play, looking for a screen left. Gets it, but goes right. 2 seconds shoot. All the way to the hole. Whistle. Offensive foul.
You get there, you get your feet set, and you let them hit you. And that is what Creighton needed to end this half. Get there and make a good effort play.
Sarda a little bit slow to get up. Maybe leaned in a little, got the call out well outside the restricted area. And Creighton will likely hold for 1. The shot clock is turned off. As we approach 10 seconds to play in this first half. Georgetown up 10. Creighton would love to cut it to 8, perhaps 7. Right side, Sarda. Giving for Elger, drives the lane, 3 seconds shoot, picks up the dribble, turns, faces, tough shot, won't go, and that's how the first half will end. Creighton shoots it less than 28% from the floor. The story, the Georgetown defense. Just 3 and 8 coming in, hanging their hat on defense. They lead by 10, 33-23 at the break at McDonough Arena.
Stronger, I got the power, gonna raise it up. So high, we're shining brighter. We got the power, gonna raise it up. We got the power, gonna raise it up. We're running ahead, we got to raise it up.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
Back in D.C., we're at the half. Georgetown leads Creighton 33-23. Impressive defensive effort. We'll break it all down, look at the stats and the highlights in just a little bit. But first, this September, 30 Big East women's basketball student athletes from across the conference's 10 member schools enjoyed an interactive educational and professional development weekend in Midtown Manhattan. The Big East Digital Network was on hand to capture sights and sounds from the 4th annual Big East Transition Game event. Let's take a look.
For the 4th straight year, Big East women's basketball came together for a weekend in the Big Apple to focus on the transition after college. The conference welcomed in 30 upperclassmen from across all 10 schools into New York City for the annual Transition Game program.
It's actually very cool because a lot of people that, we play against on the court, getting to them now, it's like, wow, it's a totally different person.
I mean, it's really an unbelievable resource for these student athletes to be able to hear from professionals, to learn life skills, to talk about, job hunting, resume building. I think it really sets the Big East apart.
The weekend focused on life after college, both on and off the court, featuring several leaders in the industry. Big East Commissioner Val Ackerman, Executive Director of the WNBA Players Association, Terry Jackson, Fox Sports analyst Monica McNutt, as well as mental health expert Dr. Alfie M. Breland-Noble.
I love how they emphasize the mental health. I think there's such a demand for just the talk to be happening and the conversation. It goes under the rug a little bit, especially with female athletes. It's hard to find a balance sometimes between sports, school, family life, and even just other stuff going on in life.
For the 30 Big East women's hoops student athletes, this program can have unlimited mileage and is an opportunity they salvage.
I'm the type of person that wants answers. So I'm already like, where's my internship coming from? What are you going to do, Brianna? Time's running out. And this definitely made me take a deep breath. It's okay that you don't have everything figured out, but at least you know what you're passionate about, and you know that you have all these great skills that basketball has taught you, and more that's to come because I'm only a junior. So it just gave me confidence to keep doing what I'm doing, keep being headstrong, and that things are going to work out for me.
It was very motivating. It gave you a lot of insight from different perspectives, whether it's coaching, officials, owning your own business. It shows a lot that they care about after basketball. I know I talked to a lot of people that they don't have this, and I'm very grateful that our conference has this for us.
Sunday sessions focused on elevator speeches, resume building, and mock interviews. All of this programming for one goal: to help Big East upperclassmen transition for life after the game.
The Big East is ahead of the curve. We even mentioned it on the panel in terms of the focus on mental health for athletes, but I think part of mental health has to do with uncertainty. And so to take a small part of the uncertainty that comes with graduation and kind of grasp it and look at it in its face and not make it the beast that it can be because it's unknown, but to have conversations and to meet people who want to be tangible resources to help these young ladies navigate the next steps. The Big East is ahead in the game. More conferences need to get like the Big East.
Without a doubt, I think our coaches actually use this as a recruiting tool because it is a special program. There are really no other conferences emulating right now. And I think it does set us apart in terms of how we're pouring into the student athletes.
Big East is something special. I knew that when I was a student, though I wasn't a student athlete, they take care of their own. And one of the things that I heard on the event today was how special this family is and what a family setting is. And so it was rewarding to be a part of it.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
I felt like I was going to spend my whole adult life paying this off.
Thanks to SoFi, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
As of 12 p.m. today, I am debt-free.
We have no debt, we don't owe anybody anything, and it's fantastic.
My parents never taught me anything about managing money.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
We just decided we didn't want debt any longer.
I didn't realize how easy investing could be. I'm picking companies that I believe in.
I think SoFi Money is amazing.
Thank you, SoFi.
SoFi, thank you. We love you.
What can great minds do?
While at Seton Hall, I interned with the Superior Court of New Jersey, and that inspired me to go to law school.
I am a physics and civil engineering major, and I want to work on infrastructure in underdeveloped countries.
I'm the news director at one of the top college radio stations in the country.
I'm working with my professor on research that could help athletes during sudden cardiac events.
I started my own business, Classic Soccer Cleats, and I just sold it to a company in England.
Come see for yourself what great minds can do.
We welcome you back to our nation's capital. Thanks for stopping by. Big East Women's Basketball on the Big East Digital Network, presented by SoFi. At the half, Georgetown leads Creighton 33-23. Let's take a look back and see how we got here. Lauren, for Creighton, really a struggle offensively, using the three ball, though.
For sure. I mean, we talked about Jalen Agnew being the player for this team, but Timmy Carta has been stepping up, hitting threes when they need it. They've been able to get the ball in the paint, really for kicks. And that's where they've been seeing a lot of their points come from, behind the three-point line.
Georgetown only averaging 58 points a game offensively coming into today. They've got well over half than that so far, 33 points. They've looked good offensively.
For sure. 10 of those points coming from the paint, getting it into the paint, especially with the high advantage that they have against Creighton. Drives as well as three-pointers.
Really using that height advantage of Anita Kaleva inside. The 6'3 senior forward, transfer from Maine and the native of Croatia. We'll take a deeper look at the stats when we come on back. At the break, Georgetown 33 and Creighton 23 on the Big East Digital Network, presented by SoFi.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't, driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
What is a Villanovan? In 30 seconds? Well, Villanovans aim high. Top 50 National University high. We think fast and stay connected. V's up. Villanovans think deeply, push boundaries, and go, go, go! Still with me? We climb corporate ladders and these ladders. This campus is our home, but you can find us almost anywhere. Villanovans have big hearts and solve even bigger problems, and we celebrate together. Ignite change, go Nova.
At St. John's University, our students believe, serve, explore, and achieve. A Catholic, Vincentian, metropolitan, and global university, we are at the heart of where lives are enriched. We provide a transformative education that goes far beyond the classroom. We aspire to do more. And for nearly 150 years, the St. John's story has been the story of New York City. We are New York's team. We are St. John's.
You got to dance, you got to get the selfie here at the half as Georgetown leads Creighton. Oh, they got the moves. Ooh. Better moves than me. Georgetown 33 and Creighton 23 at the break as we take a look at some of our first half stats. We know one thing, two people dancing. How about the numbers on the floor? Georgetown well out shooting Creighton 41% to 27.
Yeah, definitely taking the least amount of shots, but also making them. And we talked about a rebounding for both of these teams were going to be huge. And Creighton only down 3 on the battle of the boards, but like you said, Georgetown is just being a lot more efficient offensively right now.
Assist to turnover ratio, pretty good average for both teams, I guess you would say. 7-7 for Creighton, 7-5 for the Hoyas, largely keeping control of the basketball. I want to talk about one thing you just mentioned there, though, the terms of the number of shots. The percentages don't always tell the story. Georgetown's taken 3 more shots, 12 of 29 from the floor, 41%, 5 of 12 from 3. Creighton's only taken 26 shots. 18 of those 26 have been from 3. They've made 5, but the three-point shooting has been at 33% all season for the Blue Jays, but there's been a couple of shots today that really haven't been close.
Haven't been like Creighton at all. You can expect them to come out of this locker room at halftime with another type of spunk, another part of energy about them offensively. As we know, three-pointing is their Achilles heel.
First game of the Big East Conference slate for both teams from Washington, D.C. The second half coming up in just a little bit. On the other side of this timeout, Georgetown leads by 10 here on the Big East Digital Network, presented by SoFi.
Stand up stronger. I got the power, gonna raise it up. So high, we're shining brighter. We got the power, gonna raise it up. We got the power, gonna raise it up. We're running ahead. We got to raise it up.
You have 4 years to help you figure out the meaning of life. Do you realize what a great gift this is?
I think of college as a moment of pilgrimage.
You'll go places you never thought you'd go. You'll meet people you never thought you'd meet. And you will experience things that are so rich that you can hold on to them forever.
We aren't just dreamers. We're doers.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
Good things happen when you unleash a Butler Bulldog.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
Hallelujah.
And this is just one night. You should see what we do during the day. Marquette University. Be the difference.
33-23 Georgetown at the break in the conference opener. Welcome back to McDonough Arena. Since it's the first game of the conference schedule, let's take a look at where the predictions fell in the preseason poll. Creighton 4th, Georgetown 10th, and DePaul the preseason favorite, but the team picked 10th is leading the team picked 4th by 10 at the break, so I guess we just throw it away.
We can throw it away. I mean, Creighton had a great non-conference schedule. Very, very impressive, very challenging, hardest strength schedule in the Big East. Georgetown Hoyas didn't have the best non-conference season, but they're turning things around with this first game in Big East play.
And Coach James Howard telling us before the game for Georgetown, it's a new season. Yep. Approach it that way. 3-8 in the non-conference. Boom, fresh, clean slate. Georgetown looking good. Creighton, on the other hand, looking to find themselves a little bit here. Halftime adjustments coming up for head coach Jim Flannery. It's been his 18th season, 335 plus wins. A little Mountain Dew, it looks like there, getting some energy. What are some of the adjustments that Creighton and for Georgetown, what do they need to do to keep it up?
Creighton needs to get comfortable offensively. They need to get back to doing what they're good at, which is running off screens, doing really good hard ball screens, and getting their shooters open. None of them have really gotten wide open shots. And for Georgetown, obviously, keep up what you're doing offensively, getting into the lane and making open shots.
If you're just joining us, two teams with largely blue-based uniforms, Jalen Agnew and Creighton taking that shot there. They're in the more royal blue tints today. Georgetown in the more gray-based uniforms for blue and gray. And right away, Jalen Agnew, we were talking about it at halftime off the air. She had just 3 first-half points. Creighton needs to find a way to get her closer to her average of 18 a game.
Yeah, it's very surprising for her to only have 3 points in the first half. However, we saw them coming out of the locker room. We talked about it, 18 season of coaching for Coach Jim Flannery, and he knows he knows a little bit about basketball. And so he comes out he comes out having his leading scorer in the paint, shooting over someone who is only 4 to 3 inches below her.
And Agnew makes both free throws just 9 seconds into the second half, 33-25. And the first offensive possession for the Hoyas here in the second. Point run by Osage Arese. She had 7 first-half points. Brianna Jones, one of the captains on this team, pulls up off left iron and down to the Blue Jays.
I'm going to start assuming that they practice that move in practice, because that's the second time from a different player that I've seen that crossover between the legs back step.
It's pretty. It's a pretty move.
It is.
Even prettier when the shot goes down. Speaking of practice, Georgetown with just a phenomenal practice facility adjacent to McDonough Arena that we got a chance to take a look at earlier. Just phenomenal facilities.
Yeah. I mean, their SID talked about it, Barbara. Different teams, whether it's professional teams or other college teams who may be in town for games, they open it up. They say, hey, come in. You can experience this beautiful facility as well. But Georgetown doing a great job catering to these amazing student athletes.
What are you doing after the game?
I mean, we can go one-on-one.
The former Virginia Cavalier will probably take easy work of the former non-college basketball player. Barbara Barnes, the SID at Georgetown. This one's out of bounds, and it will be a Hoya possession. Speaking of Georgetown, you see a couple of banners throughout the arena off screen. National championships for basketball, but how about Georgetown men's soccer? The national champs this past season, just a couple of weeks ago. Women's basketball side of things going inside here and going to the line will be Anita Kaleva. Pretty good look for the Big East, taking a national championship. Referees discussing here to see if perhaps this was in the act of shooting Anita Kaleva. And I think they've just changed their minds to be a on-the-floor foul first. James Howard getting the explanation from Norma Jones. Doesn't appear to be thrilled. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Hoya's looking to inbound. They do so. Kovačíková. Slovakian native. Played in the Slovakian national team. Speaking of Middle Europe, Eastern Europe, that shot missed. I have Croatian national team player in Anita Kaleva.
And both those two players having themselves a game today. Kovačíková, perfect from the field, and Kaleva has been having some issues down there on the low block, but is really making herself available and making herself present for her guards to dish her the ball down there.
Fouls have picked up in this one. The first quarter, there was only 1 total combined foul called. In the second quarter, there were 12, and there have already been 5 called in this third quarter. And here comes Jalen Agnew.
And there we talked about it. We have to expect that she came out of that locker room at halftime not happy with her play in the first half, comes out and knocks down her shot.
She's got the first 4 points of the half, 6-point game, 33-27. Motion offense, 3 coming from Jones. The back iron strong, down to Elger the board. Creighton pushing the play. Feed the hot hand perhaps, that's Agnew. Sarda though driving, picks up the dribble, finds Agnew. And back to Sarda. And they'll run the formal play. 10 seconds to shoot. Griglio looking for Agnew, posting up, getting around, moving in, putting it up and in, and 1. She'll go to the line. A chance for the 3-point play.
Talk about making a change, knowing that there is a height advantage there. Agnew, not the tallest player, but takes advantage and goes right around her defender and gets the and 1.
Gets by Osage Arese. Talking about Agnew, 4th in the Big East in scoring, only 3 in the first half. She's already got 6 in the second half. We're just 2 and change in. And she's already been named the Big East Player of the Week twice this year. Certainly a candidate. I know we've got plenty of season to go, but for first team All Big East, a big-time candidate for sure.
Yeah, I mean, she stepped up for her teams in so many ways so early in this season. They played a ranked opponent in West Virginia, and where she scored 34 points, made 6 threes.
And a timeout will be called. James Howard wants to talk things over. It's a 7-0 run for Creighton out of the locker room, and it's all courtesy of Jalen Agnew. 33-30, Georgetown the lead, 7:39 to play here in the third.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
I felt like I was going to spend my whole adult life paying this off.
Thanks to SoFi, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
As of 12 p.m. today, I am debt-free.
We have no debt, we don't owe anybody anything, and it's fantastic.
What can great minds do?
While at Seton Hall, I interned with the Superior Court of New Jersey, and that inspired me to go to law school.
I am a physics and civil engineering major, and I want to work on infrastructure in underdeveloped countries.
I'm the news director at one of the top college radio stations in the country.
I'm working with my professor on research that could help athletes during sudden cardiac events.
I started my own business, Classic Soccer Cleats, and I just sold it to a company in England.
Come see for yourself what great minds can do.
Jalen Agnew and Creighton have come out of the locker room. Fierce 7-0 run to cut it to 3, 33-30. They trail Georgetown, and the road doesn't get any easier because today they really need a win. If you look at what's coming up next, the bus trip to Villanova, they'll play on Tuesday. And the next two, yes, they're home, but Marquette and DePaul, boy, oh boy, that's a tough schedule.
Very tough. Villanova, a team that has been dealing with some injuries, but still have the fire in them. And I mean, talk about Marquette, DePaul, Providence within 8 days.
Woo! That's tough.
Yeah.
That is tough. You can catch those three, the next three after today, the Creighton Blue Jays, right here on the Big East Digital Network, presented by SoFi. Out of the timeout, it was called by Georgetown head coach James Howard to try and stop the run. Let's see what the offense comes out with here. Taylor Barnes on the handoff for Kovačíková. Going to get it to Jones. Can't, keeps it herself, and maybe should have went all the way up, but it's kept alive. No, baseline stepped on by Kaleva, and it's Creighton ball.
There we see Georgetown trying to do a bit of a 5-out. They have very guard-like post players in Kaleva. Couldn't get it to go there, though.
Butler currently leading Seton Hall 39-37. They're in the second half of the Big East opener. St. John Xavier also today, Providence Villanova, and Marquette playing DePaul on this opening day in Big East Conference play on this Sunday. 3-ball missed on the Creighton side. Hoyas trying to push the play all the way through as Barnes with power but couldn't get it to go. Gets her own miss and she's fouled.
Great pace there from Georgetown. Takes her time, read the defense, hesitated, and still continued to go and comes up with the foul as she drives hard into that paint.
Look at the rebound. Triangle of players surrounding her. Is able to get above them all, get the basketball, go right up. And she gets 2. Makes the first, Barnes does. She had 7 points in the first half. It's just her first year at Georgetown. It'll be her only year, the graduate transfer from Memphis. And she makes the second. And get this, she had a job lined up. She still has that same job lined up, but she said, hold on, I've got to play one more year. I want to go to Georgetown, get my master's, then I'll come work for you.
I mean, I love the option. You have the option to do that, take it. There's so many people out here who wish they could go back to school, especially paid for, and be able to play a sport that they love. Kudos to her.
Short baseline jumper from Gracie Griglione goes down. The offense more fruitful for Creighton so far. Already 9 points in this third quarter. They scored just 9 in the entire first quarter. Here is Barnes. Picks up the dribble, now over to Kovačíková. Gets a screen right, uses it. On the switch, defended by Saunders now. Gets through, tough one. Gets her own miss, kicks out, extra pass. Another, and the three is off the mark. Might have gotten a small piece of the rim before it went out of bounds.
And you talked about it, Creighton coming out of that halftime with just a different energy and a sense of urgency on offense, not in even so much in pace, but just the willingness to run plays fully through, to take better shots, and to be comfortable on the offensive end and read screens.
Looking to be more dynamic instead of just shooting a three, which was essentially their only option in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Temi Sarda there gets one to go. (35-34) Georgetown over Creighton. It's a 1-point game. It was a 10-point lead for Georgetown as we approach 5:20 to play here in the third quarter. Kovačíková tries a three, and it's off the mark left. Back-to-back threes airballed by the Hoyas, and Creighton gets it right back.
Coach Howard doesn't seem too happy about that shot there. Earlier in this half, we saw Georgetown doing exactly what this Creighton team just did. Sarda comes up with a short jumper.
It's an 11-2 run to start the half for Creighton. They trail now by just 1 point, 35-34. Creighton looking for their first lead of the afternoon. They can do it with a bucket here. Again, trailing by 1. Saunders kicking over, 3-ball, Sarda, bingo!
The last time the ball was in her hand, she was eyeing that three. Couldn't get it to go the first time, but came up with it that time. And Creighton, new sense of urgency.
Timeouts coming all around. Timeout Georgetown. 14-2 Creighton in this third quarter, and they lead it by 2.
My parents never taught me anything about managing money.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
We just decided we didn't want debt any longer.
I didn't realize how easy investing could be. I'm picking companies that I believe in.
I think SoFi Money is amazing.
Thank you, SoFi.
SoFi, thank you. We love you.
What is a Villanovan? In 30 seconds? Well, Villanovans aim high. Top 50 National University high. We think fast and stay connected. V's up. Villanovans think deeply, push boundaries, and go, go, go! Still with me? We climb corporate ladders and these ladders. This campus is our home, but you can find us almost anywhere. Villanovans have big hearts and solve even bigger problems, and we celebrate together. Ignite change, go Nova.
At St. John's University, our students believe, serve, explore, and achieve. A Catholic, Vincentian, metropolitan, and global university. We are at the heart of where lives are enriched. We provide a transformative education that goes far beyond the classroom. We aspire to do more. And for nearly 150 years, the St. John's story has been the story of New York City. We are New York's team. We are St. John's.
It's a 14-2 run out of the locker room for Creighton, 37-35. The Blue Jays currently lead Georgetown. We talked about it a moment ago. Creighton really needs a win because the schedule gets tough. Well, the same is essentially true for Georgetown. This Big East is deep this season. Looking at what's coming up next, Providence on Tuesday, then the New York tri-state area trip at St. John's, who's picked to finish second in the league, at Seton Hall. They've got the preseason player of the year, so this is a big-time game for both of these teams.
For sure. Georgetown had a 4-game losing streak in their non-conference season, so them getting this last win against Maryland Eastern Shore was important, but this is even more important because as we talked to Coach, he said he splits his season up within 3 different seasons. Non-conference, conference play and obviously postseason play. And so starting the conference play with what they need to go against these next teams is going to be huge for them.
The first of 18 in the Big East Conference, and next year that'll expand with the addition of the University of Connecticut. That'll do wonders for the Big East and for women's basketball. That will just up the level even more. The Big East currently entering this conference schedule is rated the number 5 conference in the country, trailing the Pac-12, who has 4 of the top 10 teams in the country. Big Ten, ACC, and then the SEC, and Big East is the 5th best conference to this point. Out of the timeout, second timeout that James Howard has used in this quarter. Hoyas again on that 14-2 run on the wrong end of it. And we'll draw a foul call here out of the timeout. First time we're seeing Tatiana Thompson today.
Yeah, pretty good move down there on the post. Got her body face to the basket, tried to do a drive, but came up with a foul instead. Interesting to see what she can do here.
Thompson is averaging 19 minutes a game, but didn't play that entire first half. Gets inside, gets through, couldn't get it to go, and it's last touched by Georgetown. It'll be Creighton ball.
And sometimes, I mean, this is a good move for Georgetown. Sometimes things aren't going your way offensively. Team is creeping their way back in. Throw something new at them.
Jalen Agnew, Temi Sarda have 12 of the 14 points that Creighton has scored in this quarter. Creighton scored 14 in the second. They've already got 14 here in the third, and that 2-point lead. Agnew for 3, that's short. Was open, but it was a deep shot.
There are also shots that she's capable of hitting, and she obviously has the confidence to hit. Just hasn't been knocking them down too much in this game, although the second half she's been a lot more comfortable out there.
18th player in Creighton history to have over 1,000 points, 500 rebounds in her career. Just continuing to climb the all-time ranks. Jalen Agnew, that is. Entered today with 1,208 points. 22nd on the all-time scoring list. Can't pass anybody today unless she drops 45, but never know, though.
Never know
with Jalen. Pass inside. Sarda. Here's Agnew. 3-ball. Got it.
And that's what you don't want to do. You do not want to leave her out there. Great call there for Creighton to get everyone looking inside that paint and leaving Jalen out on the 3-point line.
She's got 12 points now, 9 here in this quarter. 40-35, Creighton the advantage, 3:37 to play in the third. Barnes driving, oh, nice move, but couldn't get it to scoop to go. And the loose ball taken by the Blue Jays. A lot of missed opportunities inside today. Creighton looking to build their lead. It's now a 17-2 run to open the third quarter. Agnew again for 3 off the back of the iron. Saunders the rebound. She was taken down on a screen and just popped back up, and it landed in her lap.
Sometimes it pays to be in the right spot at the right time.
Sarda off the bounce all the way home, and it's down.
Easy right-hand drive to the basket for Sarda. You know, she has stepped up early on in this game when Agnew wasn't really playing her game. She's been able to step up and keep her team in this game with heart.
What did Jim Flannery say in the locker room? 19-2, Creighton out of the break. They only scored 23 in the first half. They now have a 7-point lead, 42-35. Behind the back pass there is for not out of bounds, intended for Gordon from Barnes. And we'll have a couple of substitutions. Georgetown just looking to get something going offensively.
And offensively, early on in this game, we saw Georgetown playing selfless basketball. We saw them passing. We saw everyone moving along with one another. When the ball moves, they move. Right now, they're a little bit stagnant.
Georgetown has not made a shot in this quarter. They are 0 for 9. On the other hand, Creighton is 7 for 11. That's 64%. Saunders inside looking for space. Nearly got it to go, but she'll go to the free throw line for 2.
Boy, has the energy shifted in this gym. Creighton. So comfortable right there on that low block. And early on, they weren't scoring a lot in the paint, and now it seems like that is what they're going to when they can't get their open threes.
2 free throws here for Saunders. The first is no good off the left side of the rim. Team now 7 of 11 from the line. Saunders has really been a force on the glass recently. In Creighton's last 2 wins, 11 rebounds and 13 rebounds. Almost gets a rebound on her miss, but she misses both at the free throw line. Saunders with 4 boards in this one. We approach 2 minutes to go in this third quarter. Creighton 42 and Georgetown 35. 7-point lead for the Blue Jays. Tayana Jones crosses over, hands off for Osagi Arese. Gets a screen left, uses it, gives it back to Thompson, moves inside, whistle, offensive foul. Everything going right for Creighton in this third.
We talked about Agnew being a full-rounded player. Not only can she score offensively, but she can get herself in the right place in the right time in order to come up with that charge call.
Textbook, outside the restricted area, hands straight up, didn't move before the contact. Every time, that'll be a charge. We approach 90 seconds to play. Agnew inside, going up over the much smaller Barnes. Tapped around, and Thompson able to corral it. Osage Aresi coming up the floor left to right. Georgetown has just scored 2 points in this quarter. Still in the game, though. Down 7. Barnes all the way to the hole, and she's fouled. And will go to the line for 2.
And right now, Georgetown, that's their best bet, to get that ball in Barnes' hand and let her go to work. Early on, we saw her getting into that paint, getting fouls, and getting and ones. That is where she's comfortable.
She's got 9 points, 4 of 5 from the line. Looking for 2 additional points for Georgetown here. First is good. 9th in the league in free throw percentage, entering today as a 77% shooter amongst those that qualify for the league lead. And the second is also good. Quick rest for Rachel Saunders. She's back on, replacing Gracie Griglione. Blue Jays coming up right to left. Chloe Dwarick, hands off. This is Elger. Bit of a quiet day for her after a career day. Saunders inside, nice find from Jalen Agnew as Creighton is back up by 7.
That five-out motion really coming in handy for this Creighton team. A few times Georgetown has been caught on backdoor cuts and backdoor screens as well.
Saunders has 4 points. Barnes right back to the well and drives all the way home to lay it in.
Your most reliable scorer is Taylor Barnes. Slow start, but she has been able to get it going and get this energy up for Georgetown.
Agnew 3, there we go. Featured players coming to play in this third.
Right back at ya. Jalen Agnew, she's not gonna go away.
About a 1.5 second differential shot in game clock. Game clock at 19, shot clock 17. Ticking down here as Creighton leads by 8. It's their largest lead all of a sudden. Thompson turns and is fouled. Worked through and drew the contact, and she'll go to the line for 2 shots.
Such different teams. Georgetown, such an aggressive team offensively. Creighton doing what they do best behind the 3-point line. They go in, they don't sometimes, but right now they are on point.
I don't know if you remember, about maybe 12 minutes ago of real life Earth time, we made the statement that Jalen Agnew had 3 points.
Yeah. Yeah.
She now has 16 points. Still the same quarter, 13 in the quarter, as Thompson misses on the first free throw for Georgetown.
Hoya's head coach, Coach Howard, said containing her was their key. They contained her in the first half, but weren't able to contain the other players, and now other players being contained. Agnew, not.
Final 10 seconds, 7-point lead for Creighton after the free throws split. 5 seconds into the corner, Dwarick for Agnew. She's had the hot hand, gives it up. Dwarick tries a long 3, and it's off the right side of the rim, and that's how this third quarter will end. A dominant third quarter for Creighton, who outscores Georgetown 24-7, turns a 10-point deficit into a 7-point lead, 47-40 Creighton after 3.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
I felt like I was going to spend my whole adult life paying this off.
Thanks to SoFi, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
As of 12 p.m. today, I am debt-free.
We have no debt. We don't owe anybody anything, and it's fantastic.
What can great minds do?
While at Seton Hall, I interned with the Superior Court of New Jersey, and that inspired me to go to law school.
I am a physics and civil engineering major, and I want to work on infrastructure in underdeveloped countries.
I'm the news director at one of the top college radio stations in the country.
I'm working with my professor on research that could help athletes during sudden cardiac events.
I started my own business, Classic Soccer Cleats, and I just sold it to a company in England.
Come see for yourself what great minds can do.
Big-time third quarter for Creighton, who outscores Georgetown by 17. Temi Sarda had 7 of them. A tough drive there, and she wasn't done yet.
Temi Sarda coming out strong and mistaken for Agnew, obviously someone we thought who was going to come up big and who has been coming up big as of late, but Sarda has really gotten the ball running for this Creighton team. Only 5'9", but is leading her team in rebounds with 8 and 14 points.
Nice crowd on hand, some young fans enjoying the competition as we open Big East women's basketball play. 7 points for Sarda in the third quarter. She's got 14 for the game. Jalen Agnew had 13 points in that third quarter. She's got 16 for the game, 30 of Creighton's 47 from those two. It's Georgetown possession to start the fourth quarter, down by 7, and driving to the hole, Thompson lost the ball. Here come the Blue Jays, 2 on 5. They're going to slow it down. Agnew, trailer, transition, good!
Coming out of a timeout, coming out of the end of a quarter, you don't want to have miscues like that on defense. Have to know where Agnew and Sarda is at all times.
Just like that, she's over her season average of 18. She's got 19, and Creighton's up by 10. Nice move inside from Thompson, but couldn't get the layup to go. We've said that 3-4 times now inside for the Hoyas.
Similar to Kailava, can't get it going. They have good moves down there. They're taking their time and they're reading their defense. But when it comes to making the shot, they have to do better.
Creighton at that 50 number that head coach James Howard for Georgetown hoped this game could be decided in. Not likely going to be the case with 9 minutes to go in regulation time. Sarda driving baseline and got it pinned up the backside of the rim. Nice defense from Jones. Georgetown needs buckets. Been outscored in the second half, 27-7. Led by 10 at halftime. Now they trail by 10. Barnes hands off, Osage Arese. Jones with the action on motion. Nice spin move and gets it to go from 8 feet. Pretty move.
Nice handoff motion offense there from Georgetown. At some point, have to turn that corner, as she did for that jump shot.
8-point advantage for Creighton. They've led by as many as 10. This half shooting 60% from the floor, and that will improve the give and the go. The find to Agnew inside, and she's over 20.
And how good is she for a player of her caliber to start the way she did, come out of halftime knowing that she had to turn something around for her team. They're relying on her, and she did.
Barnes for 3, in and out, wouldn't go. Offensive rebound taken and put back up and in, plus the foul. Brianna Jones.
And how active has she been on the board today? 11 rebounds for her. Offensively and defensively has not stopped, whether she's going back up for the putback or kicking out to a guard.
Anita Kailova checks back in, replacing Tatiana Thompson. Kailova re-entering. 6 points, 3 of 9 shooting. 3-point play is completed by Brianna Jones. Graduate transfer from Louisville. 7-point game, 52-45. Creighton the lead. Less than 8 minutes to play, regulation time here in DC. Sarda, nice move to get around Jones and kisses it off the window and down.
The second or third time we've seen Georgetown get caught up on those backdoor cuts and those backdoor screens. Two people running after one player, leaving people open.
Jones looking for a highlight reel jumper. Maybe not the best shot, down 9. Couldn't get it to go, just missed right side. Creighton looking to answer. Sarda with a 9-point lead. Straight on Elger, 3, good!
Coach Howard looking to get his team back on track, shutting Creighton down as they did in the first half. Can't do it right now.
Jim Flannery excited on the Creighton bench, taking a look at this triple, and it's down, a 12-point lead for Creighton.
My parents never taught me anything about managing money.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
We just decided we didn't want debt any longer.
I didn't realize how easy investing could be. I'm picking companies that I believe in.
I think SoFi money is amazing.
Thank you, SoFi.
SoFi, thank you. We love you.
We aren't just dreamers. We're doers.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
Good things happen when you unleash a Butler Bulldog.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
Game 1 of 18 of the Big East Women's Basketball Conference schedule as we get set for the final 7 minutes and 17 seconds between Creighton and Georgetown. 57-45. Creighton has the advantage. And a reminder, it's not too far away. Postseason. The Big East Women's Basketball Tournament presented by Jeep returns to Wintrust Arena in downtown Chicago March 6th through the 9th. All session tickets for the 2020 conference tournament are now on sale, starting at just $50. For tickets, visit www.bigeast.com/WBB tickets. Creighton in good shape to pick up win number 1, up by 12 and turning a 10-point deficit at the break into a 57-45 lead. And head coach Jim Flannery right there, center of your screen. Well, I can't imagine what he said at halftime. We'll ask a member of the winning team, if it's Creighton, what he did say following the game. Look at that smile. After that last 3 before he went to break, he was pumping his fist. He was hyped.
For sure. I mean, this is the flow that he has been wanting his team to play with offensively. Not only are they executing well, but they're scoring. They're making their open shots, something that we didn't see in that first half.
Georgetown just burned its 3rd timeout. They have 1 remaining in this game. They trail by 12, looking for the offense. Barnes goes through. Players falling down like bowling pins. Shot left wide open for Caleb along the baseline, but couldn't get it to go from 10 feet. Agnew in transition, thought about a face-up 3. Gives off now, 3 from Dwarick. Is off the back of the iron, won't go. And Caleb grabs the board. Pushing the play. This is Jones in transition. Tayana Jones will draw the block. They'll get Elger on the foul.
Jones trying to take it aggressively there. Going to be ball out of bounds, but offensively getting into that paint and being aggressive is what Georgetown has been doing really well at, and that's when they've been scoring.
Foul is on the floor. Barnes gets the inbounds, drives left into the lane, stops, step through, can't get it to go. The shot chart inside 5 feet is going to make the Georgetown coaching staff scratch their head later today. At least the 5th or 6th miss from point-blank range.
I can imagine they'll be doing a lot of finishing drills in the next few practices.
Sarda here for Creighton. Kicks out for Elger, gets it back now. Agnew, hot hand, 3. And that's an air ball, heat check. And Sagi Arese into her waiting arms. Georgetown a 3-8 non-conference. Flipped for Creighton. They were 8-3 in the non-league portion of the schedule. The runner goes from Kovachikova. It's a 10-point game. Drew Casey, Lauren Moses here with you courtside. A great crew in the truck led by Brian Krieger. Thanks for stopping by a couple days before New Year's on the Big East Digital Network, presented by SoFi. Coverage of every single women's basketball in-league game that's not on national television. You can find it right here. That's over 70 games coming up this year. Lots on the docket today. 3 others. This one in transition, laid up and in from Tiana Jones.
Great defensive stop by Georgetown. They were doing that early on in this game, which is how they got a few of their points. If they can do that more often and stop Creighton from scoring so many 3-point shots to try to work their way back into this game.
This game's not over. 8-point game, 57-49. Jalen Agnew with possession for the Blue Jays. Now Elger. 10 seconds to shoot. The Georgetown bench and the crowd getting into it here. Elger, 5 seconds to shoot. Agnew is 25 feet out. Kicks. Elger, long 3, short. And the rebound taken by Tiana Jones. Pushing the play, 2-on-3. Lost the basketball. Might have hit a weird spot on the floor. Just came up high on her and couldn't control.
Don't see Georgetown run in transition too often, but they could definitely use it right now.
Looking to grab a 2 and cut it back to 6. Butler has a tight 6-point lead in the 4th over Seton Hall. Elsewhere, other action on BEDN. St. John's up double figures. Inside, driving. And this one can't go from Carly Batchelor, but she'll work her way to the free throw line.
That was a tough call there. Kailava thinks she might have been standing straight up and down. A little body, but ref calls it.
Could go either way. Was sliding. Saunders checks back in for Creighton. She's 4 fouls, by the way. Marvelous Osangi Arese playing with 4 as well. Batchelor, 2 free throws here. The first is good. Carly Batchelor had her coming out party against West Virginia. A win for Creighton over then the 23rd ranked Mountaineers on November the 28th. Second won't go. In that game, 5 points, 4 boards. She's only scored 4 points since then. Added a point at the stripe there. 9-point lead for Creighton as we approach 4 to play. Sagi Arese, Tiana Jones inside, floater. Hoyas need it, can't get that one to go. And Elger controls the rebound.
Very emotional player. Jones trying to get something going for her team down low. Can't get it to go there. Creighton swinging it around, trying to figure out how they're going to make it work.
Saunders is going to make it work. She'll go to the line with a chance for the 3-point play. Back to a double-figure lead for the Blue Jays and trying to put this one closer and closer to ice.
Simple drive right around. Clear and one there, coming off the bench.
Kailava over the top, clear foul. Saunders has the basketball, bends the knees, and converts on the 3-point play. Back to a 12-point lead for Creighton. Clock not the friend of the hometown Hoyas at this point on this Sunday afternoon. Oh, nice move by Barnes inside. Kailava dishes. Oh, but it's an offensive foul. Olivia Elger stepped in, leaving her feet on the dish for the Hoyas and Taylor Barnes.
Talk about a momentum killer. Great move there from Barnes, but defensive play steps up and turns the ball over to the Creighton.
Blue Jays likely take a little bit of the air out of the basketball here. Still, though, comeback possible for the Hoyas with 3 and change to play. Tough pass there. Finds the way of Sarda. 5 seconds to shoot. Back to Sarda. Inside. Open down low is Batchelor. Couldn't get it to go. Put it up before she even took a look at the hoop. Barnes, Georgetown, transition. They need buckets and quick. And going to the free throw line will help that pursuit.
Barnes has been so good. 13 points from her today, 6 of 7 from that free throw line where she's been getting half of her points. Just getting into the lane and trying to make something work for this Georgetown offense.
She has taken some whacks in this game. Certainly going to need the ice bath to recover quickly for a Tuesday game. New Year's Eve, they'll get going at 1 o'clock against Providence. Creighton will play Tuesday at 12 noon Eastern on the road at Villanova. Probably try and get home, back to Omaha, perhaps as 2020 and the decade begins. So let the start conference play 1-0. Lead by 11, 61-50 our score. Less than 3 minutes to play, and there is that air coming out of the ball a little bit. Elger and Agnew content to do that. 10 to shoot now, Batchelor. Pass inside, looking to get it to Saunders, who was trying to run through Tiana Jones, who helps her up after being called for the foul. Over the limit are the Hoyas. 2 shots coming for Creighton.
You see the effort there, trying to get backdoor, trips over her foot, or might have been pushed, but Saunders came into this game starting for an injured Tatum Rambow and has stepped up for her team today.
Make a correction at the scorers table. Team's 4th foul. 61-50 Creighton. Side out, perhaps that's better. They get to kill in perhaps another 20 seconds. Agnew over for Sarda. 10 seconds on the timer with an 11-point lead. Sarda, that's a 5-second call. I was just going to say, getting dangerously close to that 5 count.
And there's been a few times where she's been pretty close. And that time they called it. Kaylava was on the ball.
I don't see a 5-second call very often in today's game, but big turnover there. Georgetown again needs points. They're going to go through Taylor Barnes. Drives through 3, draws the foul call. I think they'll get it on Sarda. It's her second. Fourth team foul in the quarter, so now both teams with 4 team fouls, free throws the rest of the way. Taylor Barnes back at a familiar spot, 7 of 9 today, 8 of 10 now. 6 double-figure scoring games on the season. Today now her 7th. She's got 14 and 15. 9-point game, 61-52 Creighton, 2:13 to play in regulation time. I think Georgetown is going to look for a couple of stops the next 2 possessions, and they'll need some help offensively as well to get this back to perhaps a 1-possession game.
Georgetown with some added pressure, but this Creighton team seems very comfortable. Going to let this shot clock wind down, take some time off the clock.
Jalen Agnew, experienced senior leader, as is Olivia Elger. Agnew puts up the floater and gets the friendly roll here on the road, extending the lead back to 11 points. 63-52, timeout Creighton will take it as well as the Blue Jays look to close it out here this afternoon in DC. Big East Digital Network, presented by SoFi.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
Back for the final minute and 45 seconds inside McDonough Arena on the campus of Georgetown University. The road squad, Creighton, leads by 11. Georgetown possession out of a quick 30-second timeout called by Creighton head coach Jim Flannery. Wants to set everything up, make sure everyone's on the same page as they look to improve to 9-3 and 1-0 in the opener. In conference play in the Big East. Tough shot from Tiana Jones, gets one to go.
Tough shot fading away from the basket. Creighton trying to get the ball across half court. With a little bit of pressure from Georgetown.
After that first pass, able to do so relatively unobstructed. Olivia Elger. And looks like the foul game will commence with 1:23. Foul is on Jones. be her 4th personal foul. 2 free throws for Olivia Elger.
It's been a quiet night for Elger, but just the way that Creighton was able to turn this game around. As soon as they came out of halftime, they had a different spark to them. They were getting the ball in the paint, whether that was for a kick out or to score.
Elger's first is good. Back to a 10-point advantage. You're right, pretty quiet night for Elger. Quiet 10, though. She got 4 at the charity stripe. Not a great shooting night. 2 of 10 from the field. And knocks down the second, back to 11. 65-54. As we approach 1 minute to play. Marvelous Osanki Arese really has changed the offensive look for Georgetown since being inserted into the starting lineup. Now 3 games ago, gets that one to go. Back to 9. Pressure applied in the backcourt. Sarda able to break, see if they foul, the Hoyas do. Under a minute now to play. Carly Batchelor, looks like the foul is off with 15 on the shot clock. Kicked out for Agnew, straight on. Shot clock is down to 8. Jalen Agnew, are we gonna go ISO? Nope, kicks off. Hands off, Saunders inside, and she's rejected and swatted away by Kaleva. 5-on-4, Saunders joining the play late. The pass inside is taken away by Agnew, and that should just about do it. 2-second differential between shot and game clock, so Creighton may choose to shoot it, or they might just take the shot clock violation. This is Elger handing off for Saunders. Creighton on their way to improving to 9-3 on the season and 1-0 in the Big East competition. They are now 5-2 in all-time Big East Conference openers. Elger takes the shot, rebound taken down inside by the Hoyas and Kaleva, and that's going to do it. The final score here this afternoon inside McDonough Arena in the Big East Conference opener for both sides. Creighton 65 and Georgetown 56. We're back with a member of the Creighton Blue Jays when we return on the Big East Digital Network, presented by SoFi.
Stand up stronger. I got the power, gonna raise it up. So high, we're shining brighter. We got the power, gonna raise it up. We got the power, gonna raise it up. We're running ahead, and we got to raise it up.
We aren't just dreamers. We're doers.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
Good things happen when you unleash a Butler Bulldog.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
The final score from McDonough Arena, 65-56 in favor of the Creighton Blue Jays. We're now joined by a member of the winning team in Jalen Agnew. And Jalen, I imagine there were some halftime adjustments because you guys came out like a house of fire in the second half.
Yes, there were definitely. We kind of let up on defense and we weren't getting some offensive stuff easy. So we had to really lock in on what we were trying to do, and we made those adjustments in the third quarter.
And individually, I mean, it was that third quarter. It was a 17-2 run out of the break. You had 3 points at halftime, averaging right around 18, 19. You put up 20 in the second half. What changed for you offensively and with 23?
Just to be more aggressive, my coaches and teammates keep telling me, especially like you said, I only had 3 points that first half, but just to, be aggressive and be confident in that too, even though some shots weren't falling early, just to stay with it and be confident.
A couple of threes in this one that we're taking a look at. 4 threes, 8 of 17 from the floor. 9-3 start to the season, 8-3 non-conference.
Yep.
1-0 in the Big East. You got a long way to go.
Yes,
but
we do.
What's the outlook for this team?
Just to keep playing hard. We've had a lot of come from behind wins. Hopefully we don't have to come from behind much longer. But just to keep that fight and just keep going. So yeah, that's pretty much our momentum.
A bus trip to Philly and Villanova. Best of luck in Game 2, and then 16 and perhaps way more than that after.
Yes, thank you.
Jalen Agnew with us following today's game as Creighton wins it by a final score of 65-56. For Lauren Moses, Drew Casey, and our producer Brian Krieger saying so long from our nation's capital. We'll see you next time.